looking for information, for data, but it's quite encouraging that clearly our own agency is looking into the activities of the government. Like my colleague said over there, I think I have issues also with the understanding of that report. It is not really clear. None of us can believe that that report is actually what happened between this short period of time, which thank God he was able to clear that, and I think I love that. But with regards to the figures, which is the 400 billion coming out or getting into the hands of our public servants in form of a bribe, is quite disturbing. It's quite disturbing. It's really something we should be looking into. It shows that most of the allegations, most of the corruption alarm or alerts coming from civil society organizations, coming from individual whistleblowers, it's real. Meaning, definitely, the anti-corruption agencies need to sit up. We don't care if it's happening in Africa. We don't care if it is happening in the world. But this is our country. This is where we need to pay attention. So I think, for now, honestly, it's quite disturbing, but we're so glad that, yes, we are making progress. At least we are bringing out this so that when younger generation like us decide to come up and say, no, the government is actually not for the people, people will now understand, because truly, what percent of this amount of money make up from the budget? This is the question. So it tells you that nothing is going to the common man on the streets. It's quite disturbing, Gimba.
Let me just butt in here. This is what we also understand from that very report, the UNODC NBS report, which places the police as #1 corrupt organization. The police is reacting to this, and they say this is malicious and undermines the sacrifices of the men of the force. But what do you think? You are the one that interfaces with public society. What do you think?
You see, Gimba, I think the police should first and foremost understand that they are there to serve the country, to serve the public. They are there to actually save situation. They shouldn't always be seen living in denials. What are they making up of? I mean, out of this? Are they telling us that, no, there are no, I mean, the government agency, that is the NBS, that is responsible for bringing out facts and figures, is not doing its own job? Is it because they are indicted? This is the manner at which our Nigerian police, or including some of the paramilitary agencies, have turned themselves into. It is so laughable that we don't accept the facts. What is wrong in telling ourselves that, look, we need to sit up, we need to correct this thing, we should not continue in this manner? I think the Nigerian police should save our country, that image. Please.
Okay.
They should stop.
Let me
rubbishing.
Apologies. Let me just put you on pause. Let me put you on pause for a minute or two. I'll come back to Mr. Kwefa. What about this alleged bribery we're looking at, and the police force? We understand there is some level of asking for bribes to get promotions by the police. We understand that as much. Also, can this be separated from this report?
You know, my approach to answering that, I won't talk about the police bribe thing. Let's face the outcome of this report.
No, but it is part of it. It is part of it.
I will use it to explain it. Just wait. This report is the first of its kind in Nigeria and Africa. That is an evidence-based study on bribery as a form of corruption. Now, the report, I read the report, summaries all over, and it also identifies why the issue of the police should not be unexpected. People pay bribe more to avoid rule of law. So they will come in contact with the police, with customs, with immigration, with tax officers. You know, when you look at statistical data, you need to tie it. So the police did not come out to complain. The report also talks about recruitment into civil service, including the police. And it says there is also high amount of bribery. The report also identifies it. So the police, like I said, should just understand this report is scientific. I've also gone through the methodologies that they used in the report. And they use sound methodology. And this kind of report is also similar things are also being done in Lagos that I know of. We call it the household survey. And when I was commissioner for transport, within my first 90 days, I did something similar on LASMA and the vehicle inspection office. It's not different. Because they are the ones who made, they are the first people contact, and because they are to enforce the rule of law, and because a lot of people who go lawless are likely to also give bribe, because of that, they are enticed. And when they are enticed, the ability to collect comes in. But with this report, what we'll be able to do is that it will now strengthen the police better to understand the nature of what is going on within the system. That is what they should take from this report, rather than talking something negative, that it is not unexpected to see people react that way, but it is not right to react that way. What you should do is to say, we are studying the report, and we will see what I've gone through the methodologies.
Okay, let's look at the anti-graft bodies, the ICPC, the EFCC, specifically the EFCC. It has made some meaningful gains, we understand, and that's been reported very widely. And also the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC, led by the chairman, Itzasage. But looking at this whole structure, would you say that the war against corruption can be fought with this kind of structure that we have? The ICPC is there, the EFCC is there, PACAC is also there on the one hand, and then you still have the judiciary. Are these structures enough to fight corruption? Because we cannot have 400 billion naira just sipping away all the time.
Okay, sorry, let me put this 400 billion naira in perspective. The 400 billion naira is an estimate of what the cost of the bribery, based on the 33,000 or so respondents, could be. They projected it, and it's going to be in that range amount.
Okay, just hold your thoughts for a second or two. We're going to have to go on a very quick break. I'll be back after these messages. Stay with us.